Welcome everybody to another episode of Alternative Future of the World. In the previous episode, we saw a lot of things happen, like the war of India and Bangladesh, where Bangladesh lost a lot of land. We also saw the joining of Bangladesh into the Islamic Alliance. Before that, we saw the invasion of Venezuela into Guyana, but US intervened and controlled this land from Venezuela. And at last, we saw the formation of the Somaliland. And in today's video, also there will be a lot of things happening. But before starting the video, please do like this video, subscribe to the channel. All that support is greatly appreciated. We aim 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And now let's go. Now something happens here in the Persian Gulf. Something wrong happens between Iran and Saudi. These two guys already have been beefing since quite long, because Iran is Sunni and Saudi is Shia. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a bit confused about that. It can be opposite also. Some trade ships of Saudi Arabia were going through the Persian Gulf, but after a mistaken fire, Iran, not mistakenly, maybe intentionally, destroys 3 to 4 trade ships of Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is now mad about that. After that, Saudi Arabia also retaliates, and just after that attack, Saudi Arabia also sunk one military ship of Iran, and now Iran is also mad about that, and Iran just go ahead and destroys a few ports on the coast of Saudi Arabia, and Iran had plans to attack on Saudi Arabia, and they just declares war. So obviously Saudi Arabia has to retaliate and declare war on Iran, and these two countries now starts to fight. Now here we have our military waters, the navy waters of these countries. The naval waters of Iran goes like this, and navies of both the countries starts to move and they connect with each other, and after this war starts to happen. And since Saudi Arabia is a bit powerful, Iran is powerful, I don't know, but these two countries are roughly equally powerful. No one is very powerful in both of these. So the war will go a bit back and forth, but Iran will eventually take some more waters and they will start to defeat the Saudi Arabia's navy. Iran's navy will just move and go ahead and take all these waters and just destroy Saudi Arabia's navy at this front. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia will move a bit into Iran's territories. As you know, Iran is the part of this Islamic team, but since Saudi Arabia itself is also a Muslim country, so these countries are not willing, and most probably Iran is the only Sunni country in this union. But still, to support Iran, all these countries declares war on Saudi Arabia. Now this is not looking quite well for Saudi Arabia. Now Sudan is not a very powerful country, but still they have a bit navy, I don't know, but yeah, they will fight Saudi Arabia. And as I said, Sudan is not very powerful country, so itself will start to lose battle against Saudi Arabia. Now since Saudi Arabia is not caring about Yemen, so Yemen will make move and enter into Saudi Arabia's territory. Not much, cause since this is only desert and this is not even a valuable land. Meanwhile, here Iran will make landing into Saudi Arabia, and this will be quite shocking for the entire world. With the support from Pakistan, Iran will start to move deep into Saudi Arabia. Meanwhile, here Saudi Arabia's navy will start to get destroyed, and Iran completely destroyed Saudi Arabia's navy at this front. And now Iran is the dominating in this region, and they will make a lot of landings. After seeing Saudi Arabia to lose, USA intervenes into the war and sends its military to help Saudi Arabia, and even Israel also joins, and Israel asks Egypt to allow them to go through their country, and Egypt just allows this. So Israel's military just moves through this land, and they start to enter into Libya, capturing a lot of land. And this is just a desert, so the army just moves. I don't know how much this is possible, but this is going unpractical. But this entire series is not based on practical scenarios, so let's consider. And Israel will capture Tripoli. Meanwhile, USA will make a lot of bombings on Algeria. And these countries doesn't even matter. The USA will directly send forces to Saudi Arabia. Sudan's navy will get destroyed, and to stop world trade, Yemen will start bombing all the trade ships that are going through this strait. The USA will send some of its military in Sudan to make the civil war in Sudan more powerful. Meanwhile, they will again try to weaken Yemen, and Yemen will leave the war, and they will also leave the Iraq occupations. With the combined forces of Iran and Pakistan, Saudi Arabia will start to lose, and a big panhandle goes right into Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is now quite crippled. Meanwhile, Israel now also send its troops through into Saudi Arabia through Jordan. Jordan also allows Israel because these countries are now allies, not allies, but they are now friendly to each other. And with the help of Israel and USA, Saudi Arabia will be able to push all the forces back, not much, because Israel and USA are not sending their entire forces. Meanwhile, Israel just leaves all this and they asked Saudi Arabia to agree to peace, and Saudi Arabia had no other choice, so they agreed to peace. Now let's look at our peace treaty, and this is how our peace treaty looks like. No changes, just except for this thing. Iran takes this land from the Saudi Arabia, cause Saudi Arabia, and this doesn't mean that Saudi Arabia. Iran takes control of 2 to 3 ports and this land so that they can establish their military fort to attack on Saudi Arabia in the future. Meanwhile, they also take some of these small islands to cripple Saudi Arabia's navy, and Saudi Arabia's navy is now almost negligible. And after this war, USA puts a lot of sanctions on Iran and all these countries. Meanwhile, Pakistan's economy is already getting crippled. Bangladesh did not get involved in this war, even though they did declared war, but they did not send their military. The US leaves Bangladesh. Moving on to USA and Russia. USA and Russia's relations get improved. It's going to be almost 4 years since Donald Trump presidency, and Donald Trump has visited Russia 2 times, and Russian president has also visited USA 3 times, and that's a lot. So that's why US and Russia are now no more beefing. I mean, they are neutral to each other. Neither they are allies, but they are having friendly relations to each other. And China is not quite happy about that because Russia, I mean, its ally is going towards USA, even though Russia itself is the leader of East. But after this, as I said, Donald Trump's presidency is now almost 4 years, and Donald Trump's presidency just ends. Now Donald Trump has to be removed from the president's position, and someone else now becomes president. The president is none other than Kamla Harris, who just lost the presidential elections, but in 2028 Kamla Harris wins the elections, and now she is the president of United States and also the first female president and 48th president. And yeah guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you, please do like this video, subscribe to the channel. All that support is greatly appreciated. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.